Chapter 8. Follow every inspiration with actions. We get inspiration every day, and no matter what profession we belong to, we're always searching for inspiration in everything we do. It could turn out to be in different forms: a movie we're watching, a book, or the radio, and happen when we least expect it. The issue here isn't the emotion or lack of, but how often we do something about the inspiration after we've had them. It doesn't matter what form our inspirations take, as long as it brings about that feeling that anything is possible. While getting inspired is excellent for achieving your dreams, it only takes a single spark or idea to use for completing the next steps involved in the whole process. Getting motivation is an essential part of your entrepreneurial journey. Without inspiration, you might not be able to get your business to the desired stage you've been dreaming about reaching. One of the problems with getting inspired for lots of people is that most times it remains as feeling, never becoming anything more. It won't become tangible unless we make it that way ourselves. And just like several other things in life, inspiration could act as a drug for us. We spend most of our lives continually seeking out that particular high and sublime feeling of invulnerability and motivation that accompanies inspiration. We end up putting off essential tasks because we don't feel inspired to complete them, which results in the incompletion of the hard work that's meant to lead to the fruition of your dreams. Take notes and write out the steps. One of the initial steps involved in turning inspiration into actions is by turning into an active reader or listener. You need to not only read the book entirely, but jot down notes too, and highlight pages. Getting familiar with these words tends to help you whenever you need to draw inspiration from something while trying to achieve your dreams. And when you finally get hit with inspiration, don't waste it. Begin laying out the steps to put your plan in motion. Don't just think about it, write it. If everything you've planned seems cumbersome, you could try breaking them down into smaller or more manageable steps. You'd be surprised at the number of things you can accomplish when you lay them all out in front of you. Start doing something about it. Getting inspiration is great and all, but if you spend time waiting to get that perfect feeling before you can get anything done, then you're never going to get anywhere with your dreams. Don't just sit back dreaming about something. Start making them a reality. Sometimes you're going to have to work on little or no motivation at all. It means you don't need to fold your arms and wait for inspiration to hit you. Go out and find it yourself. Most times people want to do things that inspire them, but we shouldn't always need to feel motivated to complete our tasks. They're just one of those things that need to be done. Inspiration inspires motivation, which in turn spurs us into action. The thing about the chain of motivation is that it's also an endless loop. Take a look at this. Inspiration, motivation, motivation, action, action, inspiration, inspiration, motivation, motivation, action, and so forth. Our actions create further reactions and inspirations as we move further. Using this knowledge allows you to reorient your mind while trying to achieve your dreams. Even if you lack the initial impulse to get started with your goals, once you start with even the littlest of actions, you'll find out that along the way, you'll feel inspired and motivated to keep going forward. Fresh ideas would start pouring in from different avenues. Most times, all it takes is just to get the ball rolling for the main action to begin. Most mathematics teachers will tell you that if you don't know how to solve a problem, just start writing several random things down, and eventually your brain will figure something out along the way. Action inspires new ideas and thoughts, which allows us to solve an issue when it presents itself to us effectively. Unique insights would never come to us if we just sit around and contemplate about it while wringing our fingers instead of doing something. Here are tips to help you follow your every inspiration with action. Find your source of inspiration. We all know that inspiration can strike at any moment and with anything around you at the time. Some of us have people that inspire us or books and movies we watch to get motivation from at a particular moment. You can't start carrying out your plan to achieve your goals if you don't know where you get your biggest inspirations from. So the first step is to figure out what inspires you, then use it to make plans. Don't wait until you lose your spark. Inspirations are like ideas. One little sparkle can shape your whole day or month in an instant. And if you act on it immediately, it can form your entire business plan. You think of inspiration as a fire. You need the sparks for it to burn brightly. And if you don't attend to it properly, the flames will extinguish. The best way to fan the flames of your current inspiration is to not allow yourself to lose that sparkle and try taking notes as much as possible along the way. You could always turn back to the records if you feel like you're losing steam and need fresh bouts of inspiration. Since they're filled with ideas, quotes, and essential tidbits, you'll find these writings quite useful for your process. Having a place where you write down your ideas and concepts isn't necessarily enough to turn your inspiration into action. You need to go beyond it. So after jotting the points down, you start the planning stage. It doesn't need to be anything too elaborate or overplanned. All you need is to write out 3 or more essential steps you need to take to put your dream into motion. Break the plans into smaller steps. If the plan you noted down in your inspiration book were significant actions with complicated steps, you could always break them down into more achievable ones. It's not that you don't have what it takes to tackle the issues directly, but sometimes it's necessary to break your activities into little steps that you can implement each day. Carrying out your plan this way would give you a strong sense of achievement and get you closer to your dreams faster than if you summed up everything into one giant plan. Breaking them down into stages will help you prevent making mistakes along the way. And if you do make any slips, you can easily retrace your steps and correct the error without it affecting your entire plan. Schedule a specific time every day that you would use to implement the steps necessary for achieving your goals. If you already have other activities to consider during the day, you could always start small. You could set apart 10 to 20 minutes daily to work on your plans. Tell someone about your inspirations. Inform other people of your inspirations. That way, your commitment level increases since the plan no longer exists solely in your mind. Most times when a plan is just in our heads, we find it harder to become committed towards it. And when that happens, the chances of you putting it into action reduce drastically. The best way to prevent your inspiration from remaining in your head forever is to tell a friend or family member about it. They get to act as your sounding board, which makes figuring out what to do a lot easier. In most cases, just voicing out the thoughts in our minds actually allow them to happen faster.